Hello everyone, my name is Noel Michael. I'm a software developer specialized in web development. So today we are going to talk about something that's cool. I'm going to talk about Bootstrap. So what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is a CSS framework that helps you to design web applications faster. All right. I believe some of you are used to the long way of doing things, but I want to tell you that there is a professional way of actually doing this in time. All right, so that you'll be able to deliver your projects. And I'm going to do a lot of videos like this to show you guys how to simplify your life as you come into the development world. So how do you get Bootstrap? So just open your browser and search on the internet for Bootstrap. Okay, so as you search for it, you will see getbootstrap.com as one of the results. So you just click on it, it will take you to the official website of Bootstrap. So it's really easy to get started with Bootstrap. So as you arrive to this page, you will have to press on this button that says get started. So following this, there are two things that we would like to do in order to start using Bootstrap. All right, and we are going to follow the easiest way right now. So in Bootstrap, it has two files that you need to include. Actually, the two kind of files. One of it is a CSS, all right, that gives you the designs and everything, the look and the feel of Bootstrap. And then we have the JavaScript part down here, which gives you the actual functionalities of Bootstrap, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So as for the CSS, you have to copy this code. All right, so you copy the code and you start your project. You open a project. I have a project here with index.html file and a few folders. All right, so to get started, I'm just going to start giving the boilerplate of HTML like that, and I already have it. So since we're going to include a CSS, I'm going to make a link. It's going to be a CSS type, and here I'm going to paste the link that I've just copied. All right, now we are done with importing the CSS part. Let me just make sure I close this. All right, so we're good to go. So let's go to the JS part. So by copying this link, here we are going to include jQuery in our application. Get a script tag with the source, and then we have another one. So let's copy this link too. Then go back to our project, another script tag with the link. So by just doing this, you have already included Bootstrap in your project, right? So let's actually see what we are actually going to develop. I'm actually looking at developing just a home page, all right? A navigation bar, maybe something like a slider, you know, and a few, I want to make it look like a block site. You will see what I'm talking about. So let's go back to Bootstrap. Now we are done with including Bootstrap. And by the way, in this way, if you included Bootstrap in your project in this way, you will have to be online in order to actually pull the resources from this link we have just included. If you would like to use it offline, there's another way that you can actually use it by downloading the actual software on your computer. All right, you will have to download the files into your computer. I will show you this in my other coming videos. So after including Bootstrap, now we want to use components of Bootstrap. Bootstrap has components that allows us to actually reuse the kind of things that we actually do in our development every time. All right, so that you don't have to repeat yourself. So I talked about I want to make a home page. So the first thing that is in every website, even you can see in this website here, is they have a navigation menu. So let's do the same with that. So I'm going to scroll down. You see, when you come to component section, you scroll down, you'll find there's something called navbar. Okay, that stands for navigation bar. So as you scroll down, you will see preview of so many type of navbars. Okay, this is an example navbar, maybe with a company title or name, and then some links, search box. Okay, this is something common. So you see, instead of designing something like that from scratch, Bootstrap give you some template for that. And then you scroll down, you will see there's so many types. So there's a special type that I'm looking for, and it's actually this one here, right here. So I like how this one looks, so I'm just going to copy, and you can see the process. You're only just going to copy the code. All right, go back to your project, and then you paste it in here. And yes, for most websites they actually have okay, they have home, and then I'm going to change this to be services. I'm going to change this to be about, right? And then for this one here, I'm going to make it to be contact. So I'm going to remove this. I don't want it to be disabled, I want it to be enabled. So I'm going to remove this, even this here. So let's make this happen. Go back to our project, refresh, and just like that, you can see we already have a number. Okay, it's just because I'm talking to you guys, but if I'm doing it on myself alone, I can actually do this in less than 1 minute. And this actually gives you a very quick way and actually a speed, you know, in your development. And not just only that, this makes it responsive. What I mean by that is this element right here that you included, it will be able to display very well in any kind of screen size. And to show you that, I'm just going to minimize it to bring it into a mobile phone, and you can see automatically the menu changes into a mobile enabled kind of menu. And that's the cool thing about Bootstrap, and I love that. All right, so we are done with this navigation bar. I talked about having maybe a slider around this area, okay, you know, just to showcase some photos and all that. So still under components, you will see there's something called carousel. All right, click on it and you will also see a preview of what it is, and you just scroll down until you find a design that you actually like, and then you can go ahead. Like you can see, this is a static slide, and we have this one that rolls. Okay, you can click front and back, and then there is another one right here. I actually like this one. It also has some buttons here that you can jump from one slider to another very fast. So here I like this design, and all I can do right now is just come below it and copy the code that associates with it. Okay, actually this code represents the design you're seeing up there. So after copying the code, let's go back to our project, and just below our navigation bar, after this, I'm going to include it here. All right, save, and let's see how it looks like. All right, let's go. So here you can see we have an error. Why? Because this is a carousel, right? It is less like it's a slider. You're supposed to include some photos in it, and so far we haven't included any. That's why it's not showing well. So going back to our project, you can see the image source. It's actually blank. It doesn't have a link to any photo. So what I can do is one of these photos, I'm going to import them here. Then the next one, put this here, do this, and then sorry, let me just remove that, and then put the last one. So save, and then go back to the screen, and bam, we have it, right? And you can see that is very fast. Even the functionalities is working. I can move through. All right, I can maneuver through all this. So I think I'm having an issue with this one right here. Let me just fix that. And fix this. I think I just did something wrong there, but now we're back. Okay, so I have my 3 photos now, 2, 3, and then it recycles back. I think I had doubled this twice. Did I? Yeah, I did. Yeah, so now it's fixed. Okay, so now we can maneuver through our photos. Yep, so what's next? First of all, I don't like the way this one looks. It's too huge. Like I have to scroll down to be able to see the whole photo. So I'm just going to adjust it by something called container. So I'm going to collapse this. Okay, cut it off, and then create a div with the class of container, and then I put it inside, and then do that. Okay, I actually want it to look somehow like this, not all the way to the screen size. All right, the next thing is that for an image tag, it has a property called height, I need to adjust the height so that I don't have to scroll down to see the remaining part of the photo. So going back to it, I'm gonna say 550. Okay, copy the code and paste it all over here for the 3 images. Okay, so that they can all be the same size, and just like that. All right, so far it's good. I need to make a space between the nav, okay, and this section of the slider. So let me go back to the container that has all these things in it, and I'm going to put a Bootstrap class called MT, which stands for margin top, right, of 3 pixels. All right, when I refresh, you can see I've made a space here. All right, I actually love this so much. So let's go back now. After the navigation and then the slider that is going to show things about my website, I want to include something like a blog, all right, like a blog post down there, so that people can see what's new. All right, so I'm going to include it below here. So how do we do that? Bootstrap also has a cool template for that. So in Bootstrap components, there's something called card. All right, once you click on cards, it will show you all kind of cards. Like you can see, this is how shopping websites look like. You know, a product image, title, some description about it, and maybe a button that says buy now. All right, so but the one I'm looking for is somehow down here. Let me just look for it. This one. All right, I want to have an image, I want to have a title, and then a little bit let me say a little bit summary about the actual post, and then maybe I will have a button or a link to click on it to take me to the full page, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this code here. All right, but now the design I have in mind is that I want to make it a 2-column page. All right, so below here I would like to see a post sitting on the left and then another one on the right, so they should all be in the same space, in the same line. So for that, I would like to use something called columns, and then I'm going to use a Bootstrap to help me with how to design this kind of columns, and you'll get to understand how this concept works. So let's move down. I'm actually looking for grid. Let me just jump there very fast. So Bootstrap has a system called grids, right? Grids gives you something like this. Like you can see this is dividing the screen into 2 equal parts. So I need to use something like that so that I can have one post sitting on the left and the other one sitting on the right. And for that, the code for this section up here is actually this row here. All right, and I actually like that, so I'm going to use this. But before that, I need to also contain it. So you can see it is wrapped into a container. That's why it doesn't go to the edge of the screen. So let me create another container class. All right, I'm going to paste this here and close it, and then I'm going to copy this row. So paste it here. Now if I go back to my project and I refresh the page, you can see below here I have this section. Now you understand what I'm talking about, right? Dividing the screen into 2 equal parts, and this is going to be responsive. So in this one side, I want to include a post and also another post on this side. So let's go back to our Bootstrap cards. All right, I told you that I'm going to choose the first design where the image is on top. So the code is here. I've already highlighted it, so I'm going to copy the code, go back to my project, and I'm going to replace this with that. All right, and then also on the second one, I'm going to replace it with that. And as we can see, we have an image section up here, right? So I need to display an image also. So in this source, I'm going to replace it with one of the folders I have, and this one also with one of the folders I have. Right, so I can say Noel is the best developer in South Sudan. All right, so that is just let's just imagine that is a title for the blog post that is going to showcase on the website. And also for the second post, let me give you the title, creative works is the best development company in South Sudan. I bet you agree with me. So I'm done with that. Let me go back to the website and see how it looks. And just like that, wow, can you see that? Can you see the magic? So the same thing again, you see we have a space between these two sections, and my post is actually hanging through this, so I want to give them some little breathing here. So coming back here, follow the same thing on my container. I'm going to apply margin top of, let me put it 4 now, all right, just to give some distance. Yeah, now it looks great. And the last thing I want is a footer. All right, so for the footer, I'm not going to use the Bootstrap way. I'm going to code it myself. So HTML tag for footer, and then in my footer, what do I want to put? Let me just put a text like copyright. Okay, copyrights 2020, maybe designed by Noel. All right, so let's save it. Of course, it's going to look static because we haven't applied any kind of design to it, right? You can see it around here. So let's do some Bootstrap magic on it. Bootstrap works with a lot of classes, and this classes has all the designs that you would like to implement. So what am I going to do? I'm going to try to do something first. Let me do the CSS way first. I'm going to give it a height. Okay, a CSS property height over 100%, and then the width, I'm gonna need it to be let me say 70 pixels. All right, and then now maybe a background. Okay, I want a background to it, so I'm going to make it black. All right, let's see how it looks. Okay, it's here, looks good, but there's something wrong somewhere. Where is that? Height 100%. Width. No, I made a mistake. I interchanged them. So this has to be 100% for the width, and then the height should be 70 pixels. Yeah, now it makes sense. Now you can see that. But now I have an issue. My text is showing on the right, on the left side of the screen. I want it to be centered, okay, both horizontally and vertical. So that means it has to sit in the middle here and also in the middle of the screen. So to do that, Bootstrap has a cool class for us. First of all, I'm going to say it's going to be display. Okay, the D stands for display. It's going to be flex. Okay, we're going to use something called flex, and then I'm going to say I'm just to say justify, okay, content center. So let's see what justify content center does. All right, it has centered the writing in the center of this footer, but horizontally. Right, now we have achieved that. Now we need it vertically to be also centered, which means this has to move somewhere here. So by that, Bootstrap has a class also called align. Okay, align items center. Refresh. Wow. Yep, and just like that, I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but you can see in just a short time I've actually designed a front page. All right, and here's the cool thing about it: it is responsive, which means if you put it in any kind of screen, a mobile phone, a tablet, or anything, it will just keep on adjusting. You can see this still works. This one still works. It shows the photos. I have my content here. You can see it is so lovely, and I have my footer, and everything just works beautifully. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you can actually fasten up your development processes. But this actually takes time. You know, if you want to master Bootstrap, you have to come to the website and actually read their documentation, how to start learning Bootstrap. And Bootstrap, for you to master it, you need to have a little bit of knowledge about CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. All right, but if you want to learn more about this in depth, in a personal kind of way, okay, in your own pace, you can subscribe to one of my trainings, and I will be training you. All right, and if you have a website that you would like to redesign, you would like it to look good, or you have a company that you want to start afresh with a new website, just holler at Creative Works and we shall be able to help you. And once again, my name is Noel Michael. Thank you for watching.
Stolen Boys Pub and bought a foreclosure. Scott Storch demons in it, which is more poison.